is David Onda here at the Boys Red Carpet with Mr. Jack Quaid.
Hello.
Jack, tell me a little bit about Hughie, how Hughie gets into this situation that he's in the beginning of The Boys.
Well, I've always just described him as a very ordinary guy in extraordinary circumstances. He's got a great life in the beginning. It's not much, but he loves it. He has a girlfriend that he loves. And then out of nowhere, stuff happens without giving too much away. But basically his life is thrown into a bit of a frenzy, and then he gets recruited into this organization called The Boys by Carl, Billy Butcher. And his life just takes all these crazy twists and turns. And that was the most rewarding thing, I think, about shooting, was just tracking this character episode by episode as his life is just changing dramatically the whole time.
And what I really like about your character is that he sort of gets up to speed pretty quickly. We see him transform.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff he has to do, because if he doesn't, certain things will happen. He has to make a lot of morally ambiguous choices. And he gets there. It's not a good thing. He doesn't like that he gets there, but he's almost forced to. And I think that's so interesting to play as somebody who has a very strong moral center, but needs to let that go so that the greater good can be had.
Is there a little bit of jealousy when you're around these superheroes and everyone in their costumes, and you're the guy who doesn't have the superpowers?
This is why, because there's no jealousy, because those things are so hot. Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, it's all, it's this thing that he's sewn into, basically. And he has this cooling backpack. It like pumps cooling liquid into his system during really hot days. So I'm just wearing like a jacket. So my goal for the whole season was just don't complain about being hot around Anthony or any of the soups, because it's just boiling in there.
Tease, real quick before I let you go, tease something that you're really excited for fans to see in this first season of The Boys.
Fans of the comic?
Yeah.
Fans of, I think, let's see. I think fans of the okay, here's what I'll say. I think fans of any TV show are going to be excited, because this is a show, it's super bombastic. You see something in every episode that you've never seen before on TV. However, it's not just all insanity. We have that, but I think it's a surprisingly deep character study of everyone. And I think that that's really something special, and I hope everybody likes it. I love it.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
I appreciate
Have
it.
a good one.
Thank you so much for joining me here at Comic-Con. I'm going to give the real cliche question, ask you to tell me a little bit about your characters to introduce it for these new fans.
I play the female, and she's kind of the muscle of The Boys, even though she is the only girl in there. She's wildly violent, and you'll be seeing a lot of blood with my character. Yeah.
So I'm Tomer Capone. I'm playing the Frenchman, aka Frenchie, Serge. Well, what can I say that hasn't been told about the French people? He's bringing a European sense to The Boys, and it's just great character. And what else? Kicks ass.
Well, it's so funny because The Boys, their job is to keep these soups in check, but they're not necessarily the most straight-laced group of people. How do you reconcile, when you're playing this character, with the things you have to do, but also kind of being the good guys?
Sorry, what was the question?
I know. You're a good guy, but you're bad.
Okay.
And how do you get to that point in your performance to be good but also be bad?
I don't think we're necessarily thinking about things in good or bad, black or white. I think, at least for my character, it's about survival and whatever my character needs in order to get through this stage in her life. And sometimes that means she has to rip people's heads off, but I'm going to justify it because I have to, survive.
And French is just bad. He's just a bad dude.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. No one, this show is so amazing because, the writing of it sets the ground to a world where, you can be, like Karen said, bad or good. Superheroes, they're already superheroes and they want more power. And they're basically that's what makes them douchebags, right? So we're just there to give them how do you say, in French it's contra. like a contra for it. Like we come and we, you know, we have to balance it out. You know what I mean? So no bad and good, but definitely nasty, man. Nasty.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. So, Nathan, I didn't even realize you were the character you are because we don't ever see you, at least in the first few episodes. I don't know how it goes at the end, but is it weird not getting to show your face on a show you're in?
You know, like when the audition came through, I researched the character and I was like, oh, well, this is what it is, you know? And so once you you sign up and you get on board, it's easy. You know, it's like this is the character and you can do a lot and tell a lot without, you know, you don't need the face to tell a story or to express yourself, you know? And so I think that's what's interesting about Black Noir, that it's a different dimension of storytelling, you know? And there's like, just with, you know, like a lean of the shoulder, that implies something when I'm not speaking.
Right.
So every movement I make takes on more meaning. And that's a really interesting thing to play with.